It's 8:18 now. The new year is here, but it'll take a couple more days for the changes to begin at the State House. The new legislative session begins on Wednesday, and with it comes a bunch of new faces, including a new governor. Craig Sandler with the State House News Service joins us now to look at what could happen on the very last day of the session on Tuesday and what to expect when Maura Healey takes office. Good morning, Craig. Good to have you with us this morning.
Good morning, Todd, and Happy New Year.
Well, thank you so much. Are there any last-second moves before the clock runs out on Tuesday night?
Well, sure. There generally are on the final day. There's a couple of 11th hour items. One of the most interesting is the revenge porn bill. That's a legislation that would increase penalties for the unwanted sending of sexually explicit messages, which is really a form of bullying, even terror. It's long been a priority of the Baker administration. It didn't seem like it was going to pass, and it started moving right at the last second last week. So we got our eye on that. There's a bill increasing the penalties for theft of catalytic converters, a big problem right now. I've got my eye on a bill that would allow political candidates to pay for child care out of their campaign accounts. I actually don't think that's going to pass, but you never really know. These last Tuesdays tend to get a bit funky.
All right, we'll have to keep an eye on it. Of course, the big news of the week will be the swearing in of Maura Healey on Thursday, but first the new legislature has to be seated on Wednesday. Is there anything in particular we should be watching for as this new crop of legislators takes over?
Well, in general, I mean, the Democratic supermajorities at the State House are larger than ever, and it's really kind of time for the Republicans of Massachusetts to decide if they want to be irrelevant forever. I mean, Maura Healey is going to be proposing a lot of new spending, a lot of expansion of government programs. And if that's not your thing, there's really nobody just about left to speak for you on Beacon Hill. I mean, it is what people voted for, but it's also definitely a shift to the left.
Even though her party will be in control, there will, of course, be legislative challenges for the new Democratic governor. What do you expect to be the trouble spots?
Well, you know, it would be a bad assumption to say Democratic governor, Democratic legislature, that's that. If she wants to really make progress on some of our toughest problems, she's going to have to ask them to do things they don't want to do, take votes they don't want to take. You know, if you want to fix the T, you have to take power away from the unions, and the unions are big backers of a lot of these legislators. If you want to fix housing, you have to take power away from the local communities and give it to the state. They don't like to do that. Climate change is going to be very painful to solve. So Democrats can get into, fights with Democratic governors that are just as fierce as the ones they do with Republicans. And the legislature always has the upper hand because they have the veto power and they have the ability just not to take things up if they don't want to take them up.
All right, we'll keep an eye on that down the road. But more immediately, what themes do you expect the incoming governor to focus on in her inaugural address on Thursday?
Yeah, well, it should be, quite a day. She shattered the glass ceiling. She gets to revel in being the first woman elected governor of Massachusetts and the first lesbian elected anywhere in U.S. history. So if that were 90% of the speech, a lot of people would be happy. She won't stop there. She'll, there will be a focus on racial and gender equity, real progress there in a way that you didn't really see from the Baker administration as much. And she'll talk about climate change, her most important issues, climate change, the tough time people are finding housing, the tough time people are having finding housing in Massachusetts, and the tough time people in the workforce, especially women, are having finding childcare and adequate early education. So, that's the beauty of Inauguration Day. You show up, you see what happens, and the new governor sounds the themes.
All right, we'll be watching, and I know you will be as well. Craig Sandler with the State House News Service, thank you so much for joining us as we welcome in 2023.